Okay, let's see how some of the counties are preparing now. Tarrant County says it's getting 60,000 doses over the next couple of weeks. Those doses will be split up between the public health department, pharmacies, and pediatricians' offices. County Judge Glenn Whitley has a call with all the school districts tomorrow to come up with a plan that's most convenient for parents. Now, Denton County says their first pediatric clinics will be next week, allowing parents and guardians enough time to self-schedule their child's appointment. Appointments will be offered in the early evening hours as well to assist those guardians and parents who just need that flexibility. Now, Dallas County says now that the state fair is over, they will set something back up at Fair Park to offer the Pfizer vaccine for 5 to 11-year-olds. The county is working with Dallas schools to make those shots most convenient for parents. And if you're interested in getting your 5 to 11-year-olds vaccinated, these are the dates to mark on your calendar. If your child gets the first dose this week, they'll be fully vaccinated well before Christmas. If you need to wait a little longer, your child needs to have their second shot by December 10th in order to be fully vaccinated by Christmas.
You know, we know that some parents still have questions about this vaccine, so let's bring in Dr. Jason Turk to go through them. He's a pediatrician at Cook Children's Keller Parkway. Dr. Turk, this is a much smaller dose than kids slightly older are getting. From the clinical trials, how effective is it at stimulating immunity to COVID?
Well, we're really glad to see that the vaccine is about 90% protective against any COVID-19 disease in this population. And the reason we're able to accomplish that with a lower dose is because kids' immune systems are so good and they don't need as high a dose of the vaccine to provide a good immune response.
You know, with that in mind, what if a child is about to turn 12 early next year in January, February? Should parents wait till they qualify for that stronger dose?
Well, it's a good question, but we don't really have good answers to. It's sort of an arbitrary line in the sand between what the age of the populations that were studied. I would say if your kid is about to turn 12 in the next few weeks, it's fine to wait. But at the same time, more than likely, a kid who is about to turn 12 will probably respond just as well to the smaller dose. I think the most important thing is to try to get your kid vaccinated as soon as they're able to do so.
Now, what sort of side effects should parents expect, and which ones would be cause for concern?
Well, in the clinical trials, the side effects seen in the study showed that kids had very few side effects. Most of them were very mild, some were moderate. The typical things you've heard about, such as body aches and fever and some fatigue and feeling somewhat down for about a day or two. But generally speaking, most of those side effects occurred after the second dose, and kids responded very well to normal things we normally do or other routinely given vaccinations like Tylenol or ibuprofen. So I think we can feel fairly comfortable that the kids are going to tolerate the vaccine very well.
Would that make it somewhat of a challenge to then vaccinate children at school? If they're going to get little bouts of fever or headaches and things like that, and be in a school setting instead of at home?
Well, I think that we need to look at the opportunities to give vaccines in schools if those opportunities are available. But I think that the primary places that the vaccines are going to be initially available are going to be at the county health departments, pediatricians' offices, some clinics and vaccine clinics that are offered by children's hospitals. I think if we decide to start rolling it out to schools, which I think is a great idea, we just need to understand what to expect for those kids in the first couple of days following a vaccine and know that if they happen to have a low-grade fever and they've recently had a vaccine, it's probably from the vaccine and not something else.
Got it. Dr. Jason Turk from Cook Children's Keller Parkway, thank you so much for giving us that perspective.
Glad to be with you.
Yeah.
All right, so parents, we know you have a lot of questions. I know I do. So we're going to the experts. Text us your questions at 214-977-6028. We are talking with doctors and we'll bring you their answers all this week.
You can see why we're talking about the COVID vaccine so much right now, but don't forget about your flu shot. Dr. Philip Wong told the Dallas County Commissioners Court meeting they're gearing up for flu season. Last month started with only 27 positive tests for influenza, but that went up to 1,200 by Halloween. Dallas County is offering the flu shot at all of its immunization clinics, but you do need to make an appointment.